Hello, and welcome to another Axis and Allies 1942 League game. Today I am playing Konradian. I already had my Axis match against him, but for a reminder to everyone, let's take a look at his profile. So, let's see, his highest rank Allies was seasonal. Wow, he's played quite a few seasons. Axis, rank 66. So it looks like he's a consistent mid-level plat player. So let's hop into the game. Okay, well, as usual, we're just going to do the 2-tank 4 infantry to discourage Karelia stacks, because you don't really want to buy anything other than infantry and artillery as Russia, as your primary job is to hold on as long as possible against Germany. Oh, not necessarily against Germany, but to hold on long enough for the Allies to bust Germany and come to your rescue, because that's really what the game usually comes down to. Is it's a logistics game where the Axis is attacking the Russians on both sides, Japan and Germany, and the Allies just have a lot of money but aren't in a really good location on the board to help. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Aren't on a good location on the board to help Russia. Well, turned out to get average after all. Could you believe that? We completely whiffed the first round and we ended up with 6. Funny how that stuff works out. Hopefully we can get average here as well. Usually if he doesn't go bomber first, we should have 2 or 3 tanks left over. He looks like he has bomber last. Oh, the bomber hits anyway. I think it's generally a mistake to have the bomber go anywhere but first. Alright, well, that's probably about the average result that should happen when he has a bomber to go last like that. I always think trying to save the bomber as Germany is a win more strategy, because if you fail Ukraine as the Allies, or you pull back, it's almost always Germany favored, unless you only lost like 1 or 2 infantry in Ukraine. It's almost always, Axis favored if Germany gets to hold on to it. So trying to be greedy and keep your bomber alive is just like win more. I mean, you're already going to win usually if it survives, and you know, it's what's the difference between winning winning or winning even more, you know? It's better to have other units that are more likely to do hit-backs survive, such as, you know, infantry, twice as likely to hit back. At least that's my philosophy. I've noticed a lot more players start sacrificing their bomber first compared to when I first started playing a little over a year ago. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it. Alright, see you guys next time for UK1. Welcome back, it's UK1. Let's take a look what Konradian did. So he went 6 tanks, and he's going full-on tank rush. So he wants to let dice decide the game here when you tank rush. It's usually about 70% favored to the Allies when you do a tank rush like this. But if you get unlucky, you can just lose the game outright with an accidental capture in Ukraine, or if you get bad dice. So he hit Karelia for free. Ukraine lost 2, that's average. Turkey, no losses, that's average. This is on the good side of average, losing 1. hopefully they lose 2, but that's not always the case. So since he's doing a tank rush, I am absolutely doing a fleet drop this turn. You want to start that pressure against Germany instantly. You want to try to take as much pressure off of Russia as possible, and if they want to trade their planes for my fleet, that's a trade I will accept. I still want to take care of C-Zone 61 here. It kind of feels a little wasteful not to have something to do with this fighter, and you say, well, you can kill this transport, Blacktide. I know, but if I kill that transport, this poor aircraft carrier has no defense, and I don't want to allow them, you know, to kill an aircraft carrier and a transport in exchange for 1/3 of a fighter. That's too juicy of a trade for Japan to give up, in my opinion. And I think that's about it. Alright, 1 hit back. That's about what should have happened. Oh, I had another game against Major Payne where his 2 subs and cruiser hit back all at once. So they got 3 out of 3, and it really hurts. Really hurts when they get hitbacks like that. Okay, put the bomber here to be able to pressure Africa, and at the same time keep some pressure on the Japanese Navy should they be greedy and not decide to defend those territories. I'll move a couple units out this way just because they don't really have any use. And most of the time it doesn't accomplish anything sending these guys back, but sometimes it can help. Helps deter Germany from being too aggressive. Maybe have to go into Transjordan if I wanted. Maybe I go to Kazakh. Maybe I help Russia if something weird happens and I need to defend their stack. It's just nice to have options because, you know, they can't really stack Burma. I can smash Burma no matter what he lands in there, so might as well try to leave more options open, even if 95% of the time there's no point. Okay, I think that's good. I swear, when I first started playing the game, I forgot to move this infantry up or these boats out so often. It hurts me just to think back of my blunder years. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for USA 1. Welcome back, it's USA 1. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. Did the 3 transports, 2 infantry, which means he should have 3 IPCs left over. He does. A little weird that he left that unspent. The only time I see people do that is when they want to buy 3 bombers next turn. Which doesn't usually make sense because he landed the tank, so that kind of reduces the India pressure, so I'm not quite sure what he's doing. But we'll see. So for this game, I'm just going to, well, do I want to buy a destroyer? I think I will still buy the destroyer because I plan to land units in C-Zone 13. Sometimes I don't buy the destroyer and buy extra infantry. sometimes it is a good idea to cut that destroyer because you can buy a full infantry load next turn, and you can use this this bloke here and catapult off. You could just take these guys directly towards France, so it saves a turn. Maybe I won't buy a destroyer this time, especially since he didn't take out Pearl, so maybe I don't need that extra navy against a tank rush. Alright, for combat, I'm going to land here. And he does have odds on this Sea Zone 8 here, though it will be an expensive battle that he probably doesn't want to take. But just in case he does, I want to take this Morocco territory, 1, to deny income, and 2, to make him say, hey, if you attack this, that means these guys in Sea Zone 8 are safe. So I'm basically offering him, he can play a risky battle with big upside, or he can take a pretty safe battle. And even if he does take it, I get some compensation out of that. And the fact that he doesn't have a lot of infantry here. So if he wants to land these, he pretty much has to land them in Algeria. He could land them in Northwestern, but that will make it difficult for him to hold France. So trying to give our opponent tough choices. And of course I want to take out that transport. Alright, I think that about does it for the combat. Put that destroyer. I'll do my patented... Whoa. I'll send these guys down here in case I want to pull back my UK units. I want to have some units here to prevent him from running wild in Europe or Africa. That's one of those moves that I'm not 100% certain is optimal. Maybe it's better to send those guys up to Sea Zone 10 and threaten Norway. I can still take Norway if he doesn't hit Sea Zone 13, but that's, you know, if there was like a move I'd have to say that I'm least certain is optimal, it's taking these guys down to what is it called? French West Africa. I'm not sure if that's the best play, but it's the play I do. Okay, let's put that fighter there. I'm going to send this USA fighter over towards India. Some people say going down this way is technically faster, and they're correct. It's faster to... Where's this destroyer? It's kind of the same speed either way, but I like moving the Sea Zone 55 way because it kind of zones him out from wanting to go to the Hawaii. If he hits Alaska next turn, I'll be able to stop that. Now, I used to, this is like a minor optimization that I've started doing, is what I used to do is I just say, oh, I'll just land the fighter here. But the truth is there really isn't much he can hit here with. What he can hit there with a tank, an infantry. There isn't a lot of upside for putting the fighter here compared to putting it, say, in Canada. And the reason I like it here is if he lands in Alaska, I can hit it with an infantry and 2 fighters, because quite often I will land in Alaska turn 2 as Japan. The US has no answer. You force them to buy tanks. You force them to defend Western United States, and it's really disruptive. It slows you down quite a bit in your early pressure against Germany, which is very important. So by having 2 fighters in range of Alaska, it will make that option for him a lot more costly, and it doesn't really harm me in any material way, because, I mean, I'm unlikely to need to have a bunch of fighters to hit Morocco, and I have this one, and I have the bomber, and that should be good enough. Or at least that's my opinion. Let me know if you guys think something different, but that's an optimization I've been making to close up a little hole in my player, what I've perceived as a hole. Okay, did I move everything out and away? Not that I think he'd go for Alaska, because he can only bring his aircraft carrier to defend, and aircraft carrier and a transport versus a sub, that's a juicy meal, but neither here nor there. And it looks like he got his guys really hard here to deter a C-Zone 45 stack. Really doesn't want that to happen. And I won't humor him. Alright. Oh, right. For Russia, I'm just going to do the standard for infantry, for artillery, to have a little bit more teeth against the tank rush. And of course I'm going to hit everything on Ukraine because it's too juicy of a battle to give up. Let me punch that into the calculator real quick just to make sure that this is the optimal, optimal amount to, because I'm gonna plan for doing 2 rounds, 2 rounds of combat. And what if I take away a plane? Oh, that has a very negative effect. Okay. Supposed to be about 10 IPC profit, give or take a nickel. Hopefully we don't lose a plane, because that is really bad. That was a little below average. Really? He has anti-aircraft. Oof. Well, let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna write that anti-aircraft after infantry. That's good to know. So if I conquer that, he'll absolutely smash me. Okay. That's not what we want. We're going to retreat. And now I have to decide where I want to retreat to. Can I hold Ukraine? Give me a minute. I'm going to run some numbers. That might take a little bit, and I don't want to have you guys sitting here having me crunch away at the calculator, so be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and the numbers say I can't hold it all, so I should retreat back to Caucasus. If I had an extra fighter there, I could hold it at IPC negative results, but I don't want to risk it. I lost 1 less infantry than I should have. Part of that's probably due to him having anti-aircraft after infantry. Maybe he was thinking I was going to hit Karelia instead of Ukraine, which of course I would never do because this is so much juicier, and hoping to trap me, or I don't know, but it worked out to my benefit. And we'll pull off to Ukraine, or sorry, Caucasus, And yeah, it turns out we got, how much was that? 14 IPC profit. So well worth it in my opinion. And this is one of the reasons why tank rushes are just inherently a very volatile strategy. They... Maybe... Where should I put this fighter? What if I were to put the fighter here? Would that really mess anything up? Let me see. What can you hit that little stack with? Yeah, if I put the two fighters there, it helps things. It will make it a little harder to hit Karelia if that's what I wanted, but I think we got decent results, and this way I won't have to have the UK send anything extra over to Kazakh to defend against the tank rush from the Japanese sending their fighters, bombers, tank to shore things up. Do I even want to defend West Russia is another question. I could just leave it open. Because usually what they do at this point, because he doesn't really have any other attack targets, right? So yeah, he doesn't have any other attack targets. No matter what he does, I can't stop him from stacking Ukraine, so it might be better just to... Yeah, he's probably going to stack West Russia. I don't think I can stop it, right? I can't stop a West Russia stack. He can only blitz into Moscow with 3 units. Yeah, why give him that infantry in West Russia with, you know, crazy good odds? At least that's what I'm thinking, but can he stack it? A lot of things to consider. I don't know that he can stack it, actually. Yeah, I don't think that he can stack West Russia. I should have pretty good odds on him after that strafe. I got 1 infantry better than average, but with a full build, even with the Japanese fighters, I should be able to contest it. So I will put an infantry there just to be a speed bump for him. Say if he wants to take it, he's going to have to commit his planes here instead of, say, at C-Zone 13 or C-Zone 8. Should be good. Alright. See where we're going. Well, this is, you're usually ahead at the end of your turn, especially the USA Russian turn, but I have to say, I think we've had pretty average results right now. We haven't had any crazy dice swings one way or the other. And, oh, did I even see how his results were as Japan? Took Yunnan, 1 loss. Hit Burma. Oh, I took out 2 guys in Burma. That's awesome. Well, he lost 1, 2, 3, 4. He lost 4 units, and you lose 2 to 3 as Japan. So we got 1 extra unit more than average, and it's in a really important spot, which is Burma, because we can now hit French Indo-Thailand next turn if we want. So, okay. Little, you know, very close to average results, though. You know, an extra unit here or there, but in my opinion, average results favor the Allies. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for UK2. Welcome back, it's UK2, and let's take a look at what Konradian did. So he did a 1 bomber, 9 infantry, 1 artillery buy. For combat, got France for free, lost 1 in West Russia, lost nothing in Archangel, so nothing out of the ordinary there. And he is stacking Ukraine. So at this point in time, I cannot stack West Russia. He has too much muscle for me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to buy 5 land units and 2 planes. Okay, so here's the idea. I'm going to try and just trade and stall here in Egypt. I originally thought, maybe I could take West Russia, but there's really no advantage for me doing so. Russia only has 2 attacks. So, I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should hit West Russia, just to try to spare the Russians some units if possible. Let's go after France. It's a really juicy target, and if the UK fails, I can swoop in with the USA. I was originally trying to figure out if I could defend C-Zone 6 and C-Zone 8 and just, you know, take Norway, but it would give him... The odds were just better than I would like to give him. So I'm going to abstain from that. And I think that's about all she wrote. I think this is the right choice to trade with the UK. Since I have an extra couple of units here, and he failed Burma last turn, I think the threat of a J3 is very low, or India 3, especially since I have these tanks and fighters here to help discourage that sort of behavior. Alright. Yeah, not a lot to do this turn. Nice. Very nice. All right, can't complain about perfection. Can we go 3 out of 3? No, we cannot. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Where's his destroyer? I'll put the sub down here. Okay, I'll put 1 fighter here, just in case he stacks Egypt. I'll put the bomber here in India, so I can zone out C-Zone 61, force him to defend it. It's more annoying than you might think, just having a bomber there to put pressure on those areas. I'm not going to add anything to Burma because I don't want to give him anything to attack with his planes. He doesn't really have any other targets, which is what I want. Yeah, he really shouldn't have an India 3 timing with all of this stuff here in range. So I'm going to be a little greedy and keep Transjordan dead zoned. In fact, I'm even going to move an infantry up here to encourage him to go for it. Yeah, this should be good. And actually ran the numbers, but I have to imagine with this extra fighter, these fighters, these 3 tanks, it should be pretty safe. And I'd really like to deny him that extra income. Shame I failed French Indo-Thailand. Even though I've been playing this game for a little over a year now, I still can't remember the territories' names. Like Poland, Baltic State, Bulgaria, Romania. I can't remember Belarus. I don't remember which of these is where. Let alone the C zones. When people ask me, oh yeah, it's in C zone 50, I did this and this attack. I'm like, I can't visualize that at all. Maybe some people with a eidetic memory. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's color here. Maybe I should put the infantry there. Nah. Alright, well, even though Russia's under a lot of pressure, I'm happy with our position. I'm glad we took West Russia to save an extra infantry or 2 from the Russians, so they don't have to spend 2 units to try to get West Russia, because you do need to take that, or else the tanks could just blitz into Moscow, and that could be very bad. Okie dokie, well that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for USA 2. Welcome back, it's USA 2. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. 7 infantry and a complex, pretty standard stuff. Took the freebies, and that's it. Glad I didn't give his planes anything to nibble at. So, for this turn, I'm just going to add to my transport fleet and buy 9 land units. So first, we're going to strafe. Next, I'm going to take this guy up here to get a little bit of income, which I value more so than the logistical efficiency. I want to force Germany to trade as much as possible, as early as possible, to prevent them from getting any of those big stacks. I'm not really thinking of doing a med shock right now, because he's positioning himself here for, West Russia stack next turn, and I'd like to get a little bit more pressure on Caucasus. A little bit more pressure on Karelia. I debated for a while whether I wanted to basically suicide this guy into Norway to get it a turn early to deny Germany some income. And I was like, is that worth a transport and a destroyer? And I thought, I got a lot of ships here. Might as well, try to exchange it for some income. I have more naval defense than I actually need. So, I think I'm going to just trade it for the 2 IPC for me, -2 for him, and he'll probably get about a 10 IPC profit off of this, give or take, if he goes for it. If he doesn't go for it, it's free money. If he does, I can tolerate the loss. Okay, do I have anything to do with this bomber? I don't really have anything. I don't want to hit here, Seakang, because I'll be forced to land in one of these places, which I do not want to allocate the troops to defend them. I could land here, but he still has a lot of planes and a bomber. I mean, I technically could prevent him from taking it if I capture Seakang, but if he gets a hit back, That means I have to sacrifice a Russian troop there, and you know, is that really better? You know, is that really worth it? And I'm not sure that it is. Okay. Well, I think that's about all I got planned. Hope this works out. Hope I get a capture, because it'll deny him some income. Nice. This will slow down him from getting Novembrisk next turn, which does matter. Well, let's do all the non-combat moves, and then I'll worry about the philosophical stuff in a bit. Since I bought infantry on the first turn, I'm able to just take this here to see zone 12 to put a little bit more pressure on France. This transport, I'm happy where it's at. I'll move these guys up north to hopefully start some sort of defense against an Alaska attack. Asking myself if I want to put an AA and an infantry here against his 2 infantry and a battleship, and I think it is worth it. If he had a artillery here, I probably wouldn't do this, but it brings him down to a 50% chance to 57% chance to conquer, and I think it's worth it because if he lands in Alaska next turn, I can't retake it, and it'll just put me in a frustrating position. So I'm willing to give him the IPC positive trade to reduce the chance of a capture. And maybe I should have just walked that tank in there. Oh well. I would have been okay with him trading for the tank. I need to make sure, because I plan to leave Caucasus or Kazakh open. I would like to make sure he can't blitz in and capture Moscow next turn, so I'm going to take a look at that. But at the same time, I do want these fighters here to be able to potentially, you know, kill his battleship or start a med shock, or you know, just to give me more options with where the fighters can attack. Put these guys there. See, do I have enough to get all the transports coming back? Maybe not. Maybe I won't put that guy there. Alright, well, let's see how it goes. Gonna buy a little bit more artillery because I want to try and force him to really commit if he wants to take West Russia and Caucasus. Okay. Thanks to the heroics of the United Kingdom, we have an easy turn. Is it easy though? Okay, we got it. Sometimes when you get those fights that really shouldn't be a problem, but then they become one. Ah. How much do I need? Let's see, I'm buying 7 units. So if I put... Because I want as many units here as possible in order to... I guess I don't need the AA gun to threaten Ukraine. But I don't want him to just blitz a tank here and take Moscow. That's not what I want. So let's quickly punch in our calculator. 1 tank, 6 fighters, 1 bomber against... What will that be? An AA gun, 4 infantry, 2 fighters... 76% chance to capture. Okay, let's not go with that. I guess I am going to leave that poor Kazakh infantry there to die. Ugh. Or maybe I can... You know, optimally, my brain says, you know, you could just move that UK infantry there, but sometimes... I just don't trust myself to remember to block, and then I'll just come back and I'm like, oh, I lost Moscow. That's not good. I think I'll just leave that infantry there rather than try to scrabble things around. Make him work for it. And if he has to send fighters to these 2 spots, that means he can't stack West Russia. Well, he'll probably just send 2 infantry, 1 or 2 infantry here, and the rest of the stack there, and be fine. But yeah, I think I'll leave it here just to keep Moscow safe and safe, safe from my forgetfulness. Alright, let's take a look at the scoreboard. We're actually in a pretty good position. You know, he's doing a tank rush, and it's turn 3, and he still doesn't have West Russia. That's usually a good sign. Because you can see the cost of the tank rush here. He can't stack France, so that's an additional 6 IPCs for UK. And he's going to have to trade it back, so he's going to burn 2 or... He's probably going to burn 3 units a turn, because you don't want to risk a double hit back and missing the France income. Yeah, 3 units a turn here. I get 6 IPCs, so we're making him pay for that tank purchase, or at least that's what I'd like to think so. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for UK3. Welcome back. It's now UK3. And let's take a look at what Konradian did. So he bought 11 land units and an extra fighter. Looks like he's a little afraid of a Medshuk. And since he has the battleship and all those fighters, I think I'm probably just going to give up the idea of doing any sort of Medshuk and go straight to going after Karelia. So what did he hit that with? C-Zone 6. He got lucky there. No losses. West Russia, no losses. Northwestern, no losses. -1 in France, no losses in Egypt. So he had a pretty good turn, in my opinion. Let me check something real quick to make sure. Is the sound working? Anyway, so for this turn, I'm just going to buy... Well, do I want to buy a bomber? Maybe instead of a bomber, I want another fighter. Maybe I want another fighter to help pair up with this aircraft carrier there. And I'll skimp a little on the infantry. It's not like I need that many. I still only have one transport. Okay, so I want to keep these fighters here, nice and safe, because there is a possible threat for him to hit India. I'm going to be a little bit greedy and take this fighter here to attack Ukraine instead of adding it to Egypt. Hopefully the results will turn out fine, but we'll see. Okay, where do I want this bomber? I guess I don't really have a choice. I guess I could put the bomber here and then have this one go to Egypt, and that should achieve a similar result. I really don't want him to get 2 hitbacks there. That would be very bad for us. Really? Well, we got it. It was a little scary, but we got it. Nice. These little trades matter. Drat. Ah, glad I brought that bomber in. Okay, pretty good turn. Let's send 2 infantry out to start their way in the world. This guy should be safe here. Let's add this, move up the aircraft carrier. I could potentially move this infantry here to reduce the odds of an Alaska attack by him. But I don't think I will. I'd rather get this guy off and attacking Germany. So the next question is, where do I want these fighters? Well, the bomber has to go here. For the fighters, since I'm building 2 new ones, I could either keep them in UK or I guess I could move them here. It doesn't make too much of a difference because the US is going to move up this way, and I doubt Germany's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. That would make no sense with his fighters. So I don't really need to move these fighters down. So it's probably better to keep them in range to hit Germany. Or that's what I'm thinking. Because if I move it here, I can move it another turn to go back down to India, but that just doesn't have a lot of appeal to me. This bomber hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay. Well, I think this is as good as we're going to get. I will put the artillery down here because I don't really need artillery at the moment because I have so many planes. I have 4 fighters. So I'd rather keep artillery down here to discourage a Burma stack, as unlikely as that seems. I think this is okay. Okay, oh, it's so nice getting France early as UK. Like, look at this income. Got 38 income. We're slightly ahead on attack power, which is reasonable considering that how things have been going. A little bit of that is from Germany having a lot of tanks, but I think we're in a favorable position here. Germany went early tanks. They didn't get anything out of it. They didn't get to stack Caucasus. They didn't stack West Russia, though I thought they could have, but I didn't run the numbers. So I think it's still early on, but I think him buying more fighters to discourage Navy. Look at all this naval defense I have. I have a ridiculous amount of naval defense. I think he's better off buying enough infantry to try and stack France in northwestern, because if it's gonna really hurt him if I can keep trading these for a prolonged period of time. It adds up. You get rich, Germany's bleeding, 5-ish units a turn, while the US builds up. It tends to turn into a pretty favorable position for the Allies pretty quickly. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for USA 3. Welcome back. It's USA 3. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. So, went for a full 8-unit land buy. Looks like he's doing the good old Hulk smash Russia strat, where he just throws as many land units as he can and hopes to take out Russia as soon as possible. Usually means they neglect the Pacific income. So this is usually what I like to call like a timing push strategy, because it is very strong, but the longer the game goes on, the more disadvantageous this sort of position is, because, they're usually missing out on the 4 IPC a turn in the Pacific and Madagascar and other things. All right, so this turn I'm going to buy a complex for Norway. I'm going to buy a bomber and 6 infantry. The reason I'm buying the bomber is because I don't have enough money to support another transport right now. So instead, I'm just going to get additional air. All right. Let's get to it. First, we'll take that. We're going to do the obvious attacks. Northwestern Europe. Now here's the not so obvious attack. I want to hit this with US planes. And the reason for that is my plan with Russia is I want to take Evenki to deny Japan these 2 income spots. I mean, there's a good chance that Germany will take Archangel, but I want to deny them Vologda. And in order to have the best odds of doing that, I want 2 fighters to attack here, and then I'm going to mini stack Kazakh. All right, well, that's the idea anyway. Nice. This is the scarier one. If he gets that 1 out of 9 double hit back, this becomes very expensive. Okay, I can live with that. Little sad the US didn't conquer, but at the very least, Russia gets the income, so it's not that bad. Let's do the plains last. Okay, we're going to move these guys up here. I don't think I want to land anymore in Africa, and the reason for that is... Hold on a second. I guess these guys are better situated here since nothing can attack them. Is even if he takes this and gets really lucky, I can just swoop down with the UK to hit. And it's time to start focusing on Norway and Finland. Okay, I'm going to pull these guys back because now he has a artillery, so he will have decent odds of clearing Alaska. At least better odds than before. So since I'm purchasing a bomber, that should make that area safer. Okay, where do I want these? I guess I'll put the bomber here. What about the fighters? They don't really need to defend anything. If I put them... Might be better just to slap them down in Norway to try and have more pressure on France. At least that's what I'm thinking. How many transports do I have? 5? Well, I'll have exactly enough to move in everything. I don't know where I want this fighter. I guess I can put him here to potentially hit Libya next turn. I just don't really have any particularly good uses for him. Okay. I suppose he could hit this with his fighters and get a decent exchange. He should probably lose 1.5 fighters to kill 2. But I don't mind if he wants to make that sort of trade. The Allies are richer, and so Germany trading themselves down their heir is an acceptable sacrifice, in my opinion. All right. Do I want to put 2 over here in Western US? I feel that doesn't really accomplish that much. I'll just put them all in Eastern, and if I have excess later, I can shift more units over there. Maybe I want to put the bomber here to threaten C-Zone 64. That's an interesting idea. Wait, can I do it from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can still do it from either spot, so no real advantage to doing that. Okay. Oh, right. Did I look at his combat? He bombing raided, hit Kazakh, took Sikeng. Bombing raid feels kind of weird because I don't usually like to risk my precious Japanese heir, especially if he's not building more to bomb Russia. Sometimes I'll bomb Russia if they don't have Caucasus, but it doesn't really accomplish anything. He's going to have to bomb this probably two more times to force me to repair, risking his bomber. I could just build in Caucasus, and I will. Alright, well, let's fulfill our campaign promise of retaking Evenki. How many units do I need to keep this safe? I feel that's an important question. Because I don't want to put more than I have to here. But I have to do more math. I think I'm going to have to do more math. Sorry, guys. This is... You thought this was an Axis and Allies game, but in reality, it's a math game. Blacktide punches things into the calculator. Oh, I'm going to need a lot more than what I have there, huh? Okay, let's try that. Okay, now we're looking better. It's kind of crazy how much you need to hold Kazakh against Japan. Nice. Alright, I'll take that. Ah, darn, he hit back. Here's the question. Do I want to add an infantry in Novembrisk? I think I will add an infantry there just to keep Moscow a little safer. I don't know. Give him a couple more targets to hit with his planes. I don't know what the right answer is. I dislike making moves like this because that means they can stack West Russia and Kazakh and basically guarantee themselves a Caucasus next turn. But at the same time, I can't hold West Russia against how many tanks he has. So I feel like preserving my income over here is probably more valuable. I really don't want to put a guy there, though. I think I'm just going to have to accept I can't hold Vologda next turn. And what can he hit Moscow with? He can hit it with 1, 2, 3. I'll just assume he'll take arc so he can land with 6 planes and bomber. How many units will I have there? Probably gonna land 3 in there. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I should be safe from a nasty tank blitz. No, I think I am gonna put an infantry there, and I just want to put more units in Caucasus even though Japan's going to get a good trade here, I want to put enough units here to where he can't hold Ukraine and West Russia. I want to force him to only be able to take one with confidence. Probably want to put a few more units in Moscow just in case he gets a crazy idea like air raiding it with his 6 fighters and a bomber. I want to make the idea of an air raid extremely unprofitable if that's what he's going to go for. Okay, starting to get a little bit of a lead now. Not because we're trading hyper efficiently, but because allies just have more income. And the start of the game is just a scrabble by Japan and Germany to get enough territory to equalize the income, after which usually the Axis gains an advantage. So while allies has the income advantage, I want to trade as much as possible, especially with Germany. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for UK4. Alright, welcome back. It's UK4. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. 14 infantry purchase. Hit Ukraine, no losses. West Russia, no losses. France, no losses. Northwestern, no losses. And hit Egypt, 1 loss. He had an amazing turn. This Egypt battle especially, I am shocked he took it, because he had a 31% chance to capture and got a top 14% result. He was attacking with 5 attack power against 9, and he smoked us, so surprising he took that battle, but it worked out for him, so who am I to judge? Anyway, for this turn, I'm just going to buy 8 land units and a bomber. I'm going to try to keep building my bomber stack, to do my best to bomb Germany into the ground, or at least trade efficiently. Okay, so first we're going to take Burma, of course. Then let's take this bloke. I guess we should treat these equally, right? I'm going to not going to bombing raid Berlin this turn because I want to capture this. And yes, I am purposely not using that last transport. Feels a little wasteful not having any real attack targets here. Yeah, it feels a little wasteful. Let me quickly calc out how safe India is. I always get a little scared because I've lost India before from thinking I'm safe when I am in fact not safe. Okay, looks safe. Alright, let's go with this. Hopefully we capture everything, but you never know. Really wish I had something to do with this bomber, but it's not in range, and it's important to keep it here to pin his fleet defense in 61. That's worth something. Nice. Alright, round 2. The infantry did all the work. Ooh, no hit backs. Okay, we take those. We take those. I'm going to split these infantry up. I'm going to fire off 2 more. I guess I can put one of the fighters there for a little bit more defense. That guy's happy where he is. We'll land the fighters here. And here's the little special secret tactic I was talking about earlier. I'm going to put an AA gun and an infantry down here in France to help keep it safe. Let's see, for the US, I'm super ultra safe in this C zone here. God, what C zone is that? I can't even see. C zone 8, because these fighters can't reach, so only the German bomber can go over. So I don't really need this guy in C zone 3, but might as well, spread out the defense in case I see something wonky. Maybe I want to land in C zone 5 to take Baltic states for some reason. Could happen. So we'll look at the game and evaluate accordingly to see if we want to do that. Unlikely as that may be. I think that's good. I'm going to put another guy here. I think I'll put more of the artillery in India because I have a lot of planes. Please tell me I landed those in the C zone and not UK. Okay, good. Yeah, pretty nice position. It's always nice when Germany has what I like to call an impotent tank rush, where he's bleeding off units every turn here because he didn't buy infantry. And he's doing a pretty good job of hitting Russia, and he had some good luck in Egypt, but you're probably going to see Germany's attack powers start to stagnate or dwindle. He can't, well, I guess he can afford to keep trading 4 or 5 units a turn here, but US is going to very quickly have a threatening stack in Finland that's hopefully will allow us to break him soon. With UK bombing raids adds a bonus. But anyway, we're kind of even in attack power, or close rather, after our turn, but I still think we have a promising position here. He bought a lot of planes, a lot of tanks, and that's going to detract from Germany's ability to defend their key areas. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 4. Welcome back, it's USA 4. Let's take a look what Konradian did. So he did 9 infantry and a bomber, so looks like he's trying to transition into just a standard game, moving 9 units a turn, and let's see how things go. He hit Burma, lost 1, lost none in Evenki, lost 1 in Novembrisk, so pretty good for us that we denied him the Novembrisk income. As far as everything else goes, wondering if we can hold Vologda. That's an interesting idea. I'll have to check that out on my turn to see if we can hold that. I don't think we can. He has 7 planes, 10. Yeah. Don't really see us holding Vologda here, but anyway. For our purchase, just going to buy another transport. I have 6 6. We're going to go up to 7. And we'll keep moseying on. Alright. Let's see if we can eliminate the German scourge from Africa. I think that's all the combat we're going to get done here. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Always stinks when you lose a bomber. Ooh, that's nasty, but I have to go again. Oh, really? Wow. What a horrible turn. I'm gonna have to air raid this as UK now. I can't let him blitz into Africa. Wow, what are the odds of that happening? I was feeling pretty good about my position. I was a bottom 2%, and then not including the bomber. Damn. Well... I think that wiped away my advantageous position right quick. 32 IPCs for not a thing. And I'm going to have to air raid that as UK. What is with all of these notifications I'm getting? Oh, that really sucked. Well, let's just move the sub up here to try and dead zone naked drops there. I put the artillery there to give me a little bit more teeth to try and bust Karelia faster. Man, that... Why did I put a shield there? This doesn't need any defense. Who put that up there? That was abysmal. I got another 5th notification. That's wild. Well, I have to capture this in order to prevent his tanks from blitzing into Moscow. So I'm going to send 3 infantry at it, even though I don't want to. Wow. Getting my hiney kicked here. Maybe I'll keep some units here. I don't think he can stack this. So I'll move a couple units up there. this has been a less than stellar turn, huh? I've lost... especially the US. Oh, that stings. We lost a lot of traction there. Is what it is. Alright. See you guys next time for UK 5. Welcome back. It's UK 5. And let's take a look at what Konradian did. 13 land units. Took West Russia. Lost 1. 2 lost in France. Looks like he didn't put a... Did he put fighters in? No. Okay. That was part of the plan. And took Northwest. No losses. So we're paying for that bottom like 2% roll on Egypt, and it's actually giving him a significant advantage having to air raid this and then clean it up. And he diced us taking Egypt with a 33%. Then he got a 2% on the attack, and it's actually having a big impact on the game. So I'm just going to buy 9 infantry and another fighter. So let's do the easy stuff first. 2 unloads there. Oh no, I would like to take West Russia, as that's a more important target to take due to tank blitzing into Moscow. As for these guys, I have to hit this. These guys, I don't want to air raid them. I'm not happy about it, but if I don't, he's gonna gobble up a bunch of income, and it's gonna take me ages to get it back. And in fact, I think... Do I want to attack this? I think I actually have to attack this unit here. Yeah, I think I have to hit that. Or else he can move into Africa with those guys, and that's going to be troublesome. Well, let's hope we get some good dice, because losing planes is not what I like. Well, we had brought the perfect number of units to one round him. That's not what we want. Okay, still got it. That's good. Very nice. Let's do this one. That's not good. I need to hit this. Good. Okay. Oh. Those stinking... That infantry and tank have cost me like 60 plus IPCs. It's ridiculously painful. In fact, I'm even going to... No, I have to send everything back. I have to send everything back into India because he has, let's see, what are his odds if I don't send them back? Yeah, like an 83% on India. I can't give him those kind of odds. Okay, where do I want these fighters? Well, I guess the bomber can go here to give myself some more range. Do I want to hit here with the US? I don't think I do, not as long as he has that Karelia stack. I won't be able to stack. I'll just put it in Norway because I can't stack Finland for a couple more turns. Can I? No. Shouldn't. Okay, let's move this submarine out of the way to safety. Ah, 2 income there. 3, 4. Oh, he's gonna keep this for 1, 2, 3 more, 4. Like 3 or 4 more turns. Well, it's a lot of money. How many can you hit this with? 7? This is pretty safe right here. And now that we have Libya next turn, we can land fighters there if we want to transition them over to India. Maybe I should have ran odds on Berlin. Maybe I actually did have odds on Berlin. If I did a 2-1 attack, but neither here nor there. Okay, I think that about does it. Yeah, he has a... What are the odds here? Oh, actually, his odds are worse than I thought. I forgot. He can't reach this with 4 fighters, so actually it's a 18% on India. Okay, maybe I should have sent another guy over to Caucasus, but oh well. Alright, well, it's a close game. That Egypt debacle really set us behind. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 5. Welcome back, it's USA 5. Let's take a look at what Konradian did after he's devastated us in Africa. Man, I thought I had a pretty good lead, and woof, that completely flipped the game on its head. So he bought 9 land units, he bought a complex, and for combat, he took all the freebies, lost nothing in Archangel, lost nothing in Kazakh, and lost nothing in Burma, so pretty sweet turn for him. So for this turn, I'm just going to buy 11 land units and a transport. Usually I try to shoot for 8-ish. 8-ish transports is the US. That's usually about the most you can afford while still being able to buy a plane every turn. So let's lock it in. I'm a little interested in air raiding here. I think I need to start air raiding to give the Russians a bit more flexibility. I'll just move all of this forward. I'm always going to move that forward. I don't normally like air raiding that much, but I think that's the right decision here. The Russians are going to need a lot of time to survive, and giving them extra income and allowing them to stack things more efficaciously helps towards that goal. I guess I can add more fighters too. Maybe I should just send this bloke on a bombing raid. 4 fighters should be enough to one round him. Nice. Any damage is good damage with a bombing raid. And let's hope we don't lose a fighter for an infantry, because that's a sad state of affairs. Look at that. Well, look at that right in return, huh? Well, that's the danger of these raids, is sometimes you get an infantry for free, and other times say goodbye to your planes. Let's move this guy out of the way so he can't trap it by moving to C zone 59. I'll even move an AA gun there. Ugh, hate losing those bombing air raids. Fighters, but it's part of the package. All right. Just want to make sure he can't snipe. I've lost transports there before from an errant bomber. I'll put the artillery there so they can get into position to potentially bust Karelia faster. And we'll just keep buying infantry as Russia as we do. Do I have any chance of stacking this? I'm curious, what if I were to hit this with everything? Would I have any chance of stacking that? No chance. No chance. He has too much stuff. But I do at least need to attack it. I can't let him keep this, or he could potentially stack it next turn, and that would not be good. I don't know. Maybe I could if I brought the tanks in and a UK fighter. Oh, the UK fighter. Can it even reach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Let's go with this. Good. Not good. I have a good feeling about the Vologda fight. Okay. Guess I'll keep the AA gun here in case Germany wants to do some crazy air raids for those tasty bombers in Caucasus. Do I really need all of these guys here? Can I hold West Russia? I feel like there's no way I can hold West Russia, right? Yes. How many units is there? 14, 20, 21 units he can hit against 18, 19. But no, I can't stack West Russia simply because I need to prevent a Kazakh stack. Because if he stacks Kazakh, and then he can move to Caucasus, or he can move down to Persia, and things get bad. Get bad real fast once they capture those territories. So I think I have to remain in Russia. Or Moscow, rather. Maybe I'll leave the fighters here just to further deter any air raid shenanigans. It's nice when you can do little moves like stack Vologda because they're sending too many people down instead of up. Can deny them some income, and that's worth a lot, preventing Japan from getting their income to like 50 or so. Once Japan gets to like 50 income, things get bad real fast. So we're gonna do our best to stall, delay, scrape, and eat away at Germany before the Allies can come to Russia's rescue. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for UK 6. Welcome back, it's UK 6, and let's take a look at what Konradian did. Bought 12 infantry and repaired for 4. Hit Ukraine, no losses. Archangel, lost 1. Hit France and failed it, which is exactly what we're looking for. And he failed Northwestern too. West Russian losses. What did he hit France with? Yeah, he hit it with quite a bit, so we must have gotten some great hitbacks here. So I spy with my little eye a huge opportunity here, and that I will show you in a minute. But for our buy, 9 land units and a fighter. Alright, so for combat, I'm just going to duke it out here. And I guess I'll probably try to kill this sneaky little battleship. Look at that little guy hiding out, hoping I don't notice him. Well, I'm gonna risk a cruiser for him. Actually, do I have odds on Karelia? That's a little... No, I don't. Not even close. I just have a lot of planes, so sometimes I feel stronger than I am. So I'm like, well, I can hit that with 5 fighters, 3 bombers. It's still not a good fight. Okay, 1 Burma, that's nice. How's Australia? And we retreat. I was hoping to get at least 1 hit. It's something like a... I forget the exact odds. The odds are pretty good, though. 55% capture or something like that. Well, so long, Cruiser Coon. Okay, so... First, let's put these destroyers back home. We'll move these blokes up. And here's the special opportunity I spotted. It's a France stack. It's a France stack, everybody. Huh? Oh. Oh, yeah, I see. I have to bring a aircraft carrier there. This should be able to hold. You can only hit this with 2 planes, right? 1, 2. And I'm going to move the US down here, too, so I don't need to think about too much what I'm going to defend with. It's a France stack, la-di-da. Maybe I'll bring it like so. It's probably good. And I suppose I can move this guy in closer. Just force him to defend. No, the USA can dead zone the other areas. I'll move it here in case he puts his moves his destroyer up. He can't fully zone me out. No, I like here better. I have a lot of planes. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. France stack is kind of like an Axis death clock. You know, Germany's missing out on 6 IPCs permanently. They have to trade both of these spots every turn. It's horrible. It's horrible, and it means they have to start sending guys back from Karelia. They can't trade with the Russians as efficaciously. It's just all around lovely, if you ask me. All right. Put the artillery in India to keep it safe. All right, what's the score looking like? Okay, we're starting to peek ahead after that debacle in Egypt. We're kind of lost our early lead from those extremely cost-efficient German units. But a France stack should help us, and I'm going to put a little note here to tell me to put everything in the kitchen sink there. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 6. Welcome back. It's USA 6. Let's take a look what Konradian did. So you bought 11 land units and a bomber, combat, Killed 2, lost 2 in Australia. Lost 1 Burma. Lost nothing Kazakh. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. So for this turn, I'm going to keep up with the France stack while continuing to build more and more infantry to reinforce it. And that's about all I have money for other than another transport. Okay, let's send 2 guys there. He decided to gift me what I assume it is a free bomber. We will see if the dice agree. And I think that's about all I got. I'm sending 2 guys here in case he sends like a bomber down here to mess with me. Bomber v bomber, 1-on-1. Okay, excellent. Not sure why he left me that, but I will not complain. Take that anti-aircraft to make this a little bit more healthy. We'll move these blokes more towards Russia. Let's move everything and the kitchen sink down here. I think I'm strong enough to where I can land 1 here in northwestern Europe without feeling too much of a pinch. I'm going to move some units here just in case I need to send some to defend Alaska and some western US because of this incoming stack. I think I like where the sub is. It kind of zones out everything pretty nicely. This fighter... Where do I want this fighter? I can't put it in Caucasus because there's no way I can defend Caucasus and Russia without Germany just suiciding into Caucasus and then Japan running me over. And looking, well, it's pretty close score-wise, but once you take a France stack or Karelia, time is your friend. From here on out, Germany should just expect 30 IPCs a turn, give or take a little, is their new normal. I guess they'll take Caucasus next turn, but we're going to start trading these territories every single turn, and that will hopefully cause them to dry up to the point where I can just move in and take Karelia if I want, and then I can start saving Russia. At least that's the idea. Let me make sure this is an IPC negative fight for him. What can he hit this with? 12 infantry, 6 tanks because there's 3 there. And I'm going to have 14 infantry, a tank, 6 fighters in the AA. That should be a pretty bad fight for him, right? Yeah, it's IPC negative for him. And even if he does hit it and gets mutual suicide, I'm perfectly happy with that sort of result. I can just go again. I'll just scoop up more guys from Norway, and I'm happy to trade IPC for IPC while the Allies still have a income advantage, which is going to be shrinking as he starts taking the islands, but we got it for now. I don't think this fighter is going to be of much use right now in Moscow. I'm not in danger of losing Moscow. So actually, yeah, I'm not in danger. I'm gonna take this next turn. Or attempt to, at least. Okay, I think that should suffice. Okay. Poor, poor Russians. I'm going to leave this to the UK because I'd like to preserve as many units as I can for the Russians, because at this point, when you have that France advantage, you just need to hold out. Don't take any risks, just play it nice and slow, and hopefully you'll take home the win. I could do a cheeky strafe or something, but I don't think I shall. Should I do a cheeky strafe? I have a lot of planes here, though, that I could... Maybe I should do a cheeky strafe. What are the odds of one rounding him here? %32%. Okay, that's a little high. What if I do it like so? 25%. I think I'll just let the UK take care of it. If I lose planes as the UK, so be it. The infantry hit, the fighters miss. Wow. Okay, we'll move everything here. We're going to move everything back. He has a lot of planes, so I'd rather not give him advantageous trades as the Japanese. I'm glad I killed that bomber. I don't know why he landed that there, but I won't complain. Okay, I'll put one infantry here just to force him to dedicate some planes. Maybe I should have defended this. No, the Japanese will get it. If the Germans get it, so be it. I think it's best not to offer him anything too juicy. Alright, and we're starting to pull ahead attack power-wise. Hopefully that continues to be the case, as long as I can show a strong enough front here for the Russians. I do need to capture this next turn as the United Kingdom so that the Japanese can't stack their planes and then go to Caucasus, because that's when things get real bad. But we'll see how it works out. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for UK 7. Welcome back, it's UK 7. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. So he bought 6 infantry, 3 artilleries. Is he that broke? I guess he is. That's right, we have France, yeah. So he hit West Russia, lost 1, lost none on Caucasus, lost none in Northwestern. So, for this turn, we have some interesting options. Russia's going to have a lot of weight taken off their shoulders here in a little bit. So, I'm going to buy 9 infantry and a fighter. And let's start by playing it safe. I really, really, really need to take this out. This, I'd like to take that too. Actually, it doesn't really matter if I take it. Japan will probably just take it back. I'd like to take that zone out because it's in range of his tank, so I don't want to hit it too heavily. But I do need to take this, otherwise he can stack it. So this is the most important target. In fact, it might be best to just skip Burma this turn to ensure we take out Kazakh and capture it. Next, I'm just going to do cutesy little trade. And I'm just going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at France, and he has a like IPC negative fight on his hand. It's like 2-ish IPC negative if I throw everything I can into France, and I think I'm absolutely willing to take that. Yeah, it's what's his odds of conquering are 48%, but I'm willing to give him those odds because Germany trading that heavily is in our favor. So let's get a move on, shall we? Oh, I'm so glad I sent 3. I was originally planning to send 2. Man, not good hits. Not good. Not so good this turn. He's hit 3 out of 4, huh? 5 out of 6. Or no, that 4 out of 5? Yeah, 4 out of 5. Those were some pretty bad dice. Yeah, let's see, how many did we kill? We killed 6 units and 4 of them hit back. So it was more like I was attacking fighters than I was attacking. Oh, I'm really close to being able to hit that. Okay, well, let's prepare to turtle up in France. Say, come at me, and I will not be attacking this next turn, because believe it or not, if I even remove 1 infantry away from France, it goes from like a -3 IPC attack to a +7. And its odds of conquering go up from 47 to 57%, and I'm not going to give him those odds just to take India or Italy. That's 6 fighters. Sometimes I'm like, oh, should I buy an industrial complex? And then I realize I'm not rich enough to do stuff like that. Alright. Fan season, I don't think that's a concern anymore. We got literally our entire allies' navy in that sea zone. It should be plenty safe. Maybe I should have sent more to Persia. Probably doesn't make a big difference. Yeah, now that we've gotten France, Germany's starting, even though they have Caucasus, ironically France is counterweighting that, bringing him down to a lower IPC count, which is nice. Be interesting to see if he goes for the YOLO attack on France, or if he decides not to, because once we stabilize, I will likely start using the UK to take Karelian and help Russia out, and let the US just build up a stack and try to take Berlin out if possible. So, interesting game. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for USA 7. Welcome back, it's USA 7. Let's take a look at what Konradian did. Did 11 land units and a fighter buy. He did a devastating 6 IPC hit in Russia. Logda for free, Hawaiian no hit backs, Kazakh lost 1, so pretty good turn for him, especially that bombing raid. Alright, for this turn, we're continuing Operation Keep France Safe. I'm going to buy 2 fighters and 8 infantry. So for combat, I don't actually have a lot of options. I can't even send this fighter over because then it won't be able to reach France. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't even take Italy because the odds on France are so tight that if I take Italy, it will give him a 10 IPC advantage, so can't do it this turn. Nice, we got it. Important income for Russia. Okay, now I'm purposely bringing the infantry and not, oh actually, the infantry and not the artillery. And the reason for that is because I'm afraid that he's going to try to hit it and do like a double suicide attack. Let's move these guys forward. Same reason, I want to keep the them safe. Guess I'll just move the sub to park on top of him to be annoying. Suppose I can, maybe I shouldn't do a full, maybe I should bring some artillery around just to balance out these guys here. Kind of wish I brought this aircraft carrier back earlier so I could use it to spawn here and directly go to France. Guess that was a small oversight by myself. Right. Guess it doesn't matter too much where I place these. They can't reach France. I don't need that many. I'll just put one there. Can he hit this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. He cannot. Well, let's get repairing. Okay, so first things first. Let's take this. Whoops. These are the spots that I don't really want to hit. Maybe I don't want to hit this territory. Maybe I'll hit that with the United Kingdom. I would like that money, though. Is this enough to be IPC negative? If he wants to hit me. I think I need 7 to do that. The problem is if I take this, he can stack Kazakh, which is not something I particularly want. Maybe I will use 2 here. I don't want him to be able to hit that with the German tanks. I could blitz a tank down here, but Japan's starting to get a little scary, so I'd rather not tempt fate. If I fully abandon Moscow, what can he hit me with as Japan? He could hit, assuming I fail one of these, me with a tank, 7 planes. What I don't want him to do is just suicide his tanks into there just to try to take Moscow and somehow succeed. I don't need this many. Let's see how the other fights pan out. And then we'll worry if I want to add more there. Oh, did I forget a plane to Archangel? I didn't forget a plane, but I wanted to use artillery. Okay. There we go. Got it. Don't really want Novembrisk, but I want to stack Caucasus super hard. Oh, shoot. Come on. Don't hit back. Okay, good. I want to stack Caucasus really hard, and I can't do that if I... Oh, barely got 2 hits out of that. If I let their tanks blitz in. Okay. So I got pretty good results, all things considered. This should keep me plenty safe against a air raid from Japan. You can hit with 6, 7, 8. Should be good. IPC is not bad. Yeah, getting a nice IPC lead. Be interesting to see if he does the YOLO here or not. Yeah, I'm liking our position. Once Germany has to start defending France and they give up Karelia, and it really lets Russia just start to spread out and take some really good income against them. And that's usually the beginning of the end, because once the Allies can reinforce Moscow, that's it's a death sentence for the Axis. I'll put a little marker here just to remind myself to attack it. I shouldn't forget, but I'll put it there anyway. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for UK 8. Alright, well, it looks like Konradian decided to concede. Let's take a look at what he did. Looks like he all-in France and decided to retreat after he was down to 8 tanks. So I don't know. Looks like he must have got some amount below average, but even if he full cleared it, it wouldn't have made an impactful difference on the game, because I could just retake it, and then he would be running on fumes, where Russia could then take all the income, and U.S. can come in here, or UK could trade here, but can't blame him for taking it, hoping he could get lucky and maybe get a strafe or something. Could have done something, but yeah, this was an interesting game. I felt I had a really good start, but then I just got terrible dice in Egypt, and it threw him back into the game. But we saw that opportunity for the France stack, took it, and it won us the game. So thank you everyone for watching. Special thanks to all the commenters and subscribers, and I'll see you guys next time.